So whether it is visible, sir, my screen?
Not it, ma'am, not it.
It's coming as failed to start. Now, ma'am?
Now your voice is only visible, ma'am.
Ma'am, I'm getting an error like the screen sharing has failed to start. Please try again later.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You have this, ma'am.
What, ma'am?
You have the rights, ma'am. To you can share your screen.
Security phone. Security. Download பண்ணிருங்க மேம். Share screen. Allow participants. Yesterday mail போங்க மேம். Sign out. Sign in.
No, ma'am, it is showing as screen sharing has failed to start. Please try again later like that. Someone else is sharing it, please. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Madam, one second, madam. One second. We are playing on behalf of you, madam. You can share, continue the session.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Slide.
Screen.
Is it visible, ma'am, now? Madam?
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
Are you? Dear participants, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
So for others, it is visible, but
Yes, visible, madam. Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ma'am?
Ma'am, but in my screen it is not visible, ma'am. Okay, no problem, ma'am. Ma'am, if there is someone there, they will just move on my slides. No problem, ma'am.
Myself is doing, madam. I myself is doing.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So I'll see
Madam,
my screen and then.
do one thing, madam. Otherwise, you log in once again, ma'am. Otherwise, you please continue, madam. We will take care. Continue.
No problem, ma'am. I'll continue with my PPT. It is here.
Okay, madam. Okay.
So you just
You please let me know.
move the slides, ma'am.
Okay, madam. Okay.
So happy morning, all present online. So my topic here is Internet of Things, IoT, building blocks, protocols, and technologies. Outline here is so first we will see what is internet and then what is Internet of Things, what is the need to go for Internet of Things, how this IoT work, how it evolved, and then about the architecture of IoT, and then the building blocks of IoT, then protocols and technologies related to IoT, and then finally we will see about the applications in IoT, right? Next slide, ma'am. Okay, so let us now see how the IoT evolved, right? Okay, so you're seeing the screen, right? So first, human to human communication, that is what the pre-internet stage, right? So through, by some means, we are communicating either through landline or through that button phones, we will communicate, right? After that comes Internet of Content. That means content will be there and we are just okay, seeing the content. We cannot give the feedback. We that is could not give the comment like that. It is not possible in the stage of Internet of Content. After that comes Internet of Services, right? In that phase, that is we could able to create blog. We could able to provide a comment for whatever thing we are seeing or we are learning, right? So that is what Internet of Services. After comes Internet of People. People communicate with each other through Facebook, and then that is what social web, right? Instagram, Twitter, like that. It is what Internet of People. Now comes Internet of Things. One thing is communicating with other thing, right? What my mobile is communicating with my AC, which is available in my home, right? So one thing is communicating with another thing. Machine is communicating with another machine. So this is how IoT evolved, right? So when you see the internet usage statistics, ma'am, am I audible, ma'am? No problem from your side, no, ma'am?
You are audible, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. So now coming to the internet usage statistics. So if you see the world population here, so 2003 it is 6.3 billion, but 2020 it is 7.6 billion, right? But see the number of connected devices. Okay, so at 2003 only 500 million devices are connected, and now by 2020 50 billion devices are connected. So connected devices, one person per person. So among so around the world, around 50 billion people are available, means per person connected devices are 6.58 on an average. So this we could see the statistics in the next slide. So growth in internet connected devices by 2020. So see here the world population in billions, internet connected devices in billion, and then internet connected devices per person. See how much devices are connected now. Okay, so 6.58 devices are connected per person. Okay, so this is how the internet usage evolved and now it is in peak. Okay, so next, coming to the history of IoT, that is during 1999, Kevin Ashton. So that Kevin Ashton, he was the co-founder of the Auto ID, that is for Automatic Identification Center at MIT. He coined the term Internet of Things, IoT. So actually his definition of IoT, it was based on reinventing RFID as a networking technology by linking objects to the internet using that RFID tag. Okay, and then many done experiments on that, and they gave different definitions. And by 2005, the ITU Internet report, so that is that report, it includes chapters on, that was the first report on IoT. It includes chapters on enabling technologies, shaping of the market, emerging challenges and implications for the developing world, as well as the comprehensive statistical tables covering over 200 economies, right? And then after that, by 2008, March 26 to 28, the first international conference on IoT began. Okay, so after that, it evolved, right? Okay, so this was the history of IoT. And then next slide, coming to the definitions of IoT. Many gave different definitions, and Wikipedia, it is showing wireless network between objects. Usually the networks will be wireless and self-configuring, right? So that means what? Between objects, between things, okay, and there is no need for any wiring there, and all these things are self-configuring in nature. So this was the definition given by Wikipedia. And then that WSIS, no, in 2005, how they defined IoT is by embedding short-range mobile transceivers into a wide array of additional devices and everyday items, enabling a few forms of communication between people and things and between themselves. Okay, so this was the definition given by WSIS. And in the first international conference on IoT during 2008, they gave definition like number of technologies and research disciplines that enable internet to reach out into the real world of physical objects. So here, that is, now let us see in the next slide, what is exactly IoT. So wherever you surf the net, you will get this term. So IoT, it is the network of physical objects or things embedded with electronics. It is embedded with software, it is embedded with sensors, and it is embedded, that is, it will have network connectivity, which enables all these things to collect and exchange data. Okay, so okay, so this is the definition. And when I say a single definition for Internet of Things, okay, so usually we want a single line definition. It will be easy for us to what remember. A thing, it is speaking with other thing over the internet without any human intervention, right? A thing is speaking with other thing over the internet without any human intervention. So there is no need for human to intervene there. Okay, so a machine is speaking with other machine. It is what thing is speaking with other thing, and it is IoT. And this happens any time. So a device may contact with another device anytime, and then a device may contact with any other device, and then it may be anyone. Okay, and then any device it could contact. That is why anything. Then that may be any server or whatever it is. That is why anything, anyone, anytime. And then the next slide. That is things, sense and communicate. Okay, things are nothing but devices. They will sense and they will communicate with each other. Okay, so okay, in the next slide, if we say thing, what are the things available? So we will see in detail of these in the applications. Anyway, so thing, what we will call as a thing. Okay, it refers to a wide variety of devices such as heart monitoring implants, biochip transponders on farm animals, and then electric planes in coastal waters, automobiles with built-in sensors, DNA analysis devices for environmental food pathogen monitoring, field operation devices that assist firefighters in search and rescue operation, whatever the devices, it is a thing, right? Okay, so let's see the dimension in the next slide. Anytime connection, anything connection, any place connection. So I told you, no, so it may be on the move, it may be outdoor, you may be within your house indoor, that may be a night time, that may be a daytime. Okay, So that may be any place that is along with the PC, or that may be between anything between PCs. That may be human to human also without using PC. That may be human to a device thing using some generic equipment, or that may be between a device and another device thing to thing, right? So it is how any dimension. Okay, so coming to the next slide. Okay, we can also say this IoT as a network of networks. So individual networks are there. So if you take the transport, it is a separate network, energy, earth, home, education, business. So all these are different networks. All are connected together and with security, analytics, and management. So if we need to extract some data, if we need to process, if we need to manipulate some data means, so that is through analytics. Okay. So with security, analytics, and management. So these networks connected with added security, analytics, and management capabilities allows this IoT to become even more powerful. Okay. Now, the next slide, we will see why IoT. So what is the need to go for IoT? So it provides open platform. So it is designed to make building and deploying applications easier, faster, secure, and more accessible for everyone. This we know. So with IoT, we could make everything easy. We could make everything fast. We could make everything secure and more accessible to everyone. And then it is allowing. It is allowing us to create low power, wide area sensor, actuator networks, and then machine to machine communication is possible. We could make smart cities. We could make several applications with that. And then it is contributing to economic development also. So it is playing a major role in agriculture. It is playing a major role in health sector and in many areas. What and then it is playing a major role when we go for smart cities, everything. So it is contributing to economic development also. And then it makes management efficient. Okay, so smart power, water grid, transport management, by all these things, it make management easier. Okay, so these are all the needs that is to go for IoT. Okay, so in the next slide, we will see about how this IoT works. Okay, so this we can see Internet of Things. We will see it as a very big. Okay, it is we can view it as a gigantic network consisting of networks of devices and then computers connected through a series of intermediate technologies where number of technologies like RFIDs, wireless connections, and all those act as enablers. Okay, so it provides tagging of things, right? Real-time item traceability, addressability. So it could trace that item and it will address that item, right? It will identify that item with the help of RFIDs. And then sensors are there. They are a means of to collect data. Sensors, they will collect data from the environment. And then shrinking things, miniaturization. So nanotechnology, even if it is very small, that could also be connected and interacted, right? So those we call as things as smart devices. And then thinking things. Okay, so embedded intelligence. So intelligence is embedded in those devices. Even if we take edge computing, right? A term edge computing is there in which devices itself will calculate whatever it needs, whatever it wants to manipulate, whatever it wants to extract. Okay, so that is what edge computing, right? So likewise, this embedded intelligence in devices through sensors, they form the network connection to the internet. So it can make the things realizing the intelligent control, right? Okay. The next slide, we will see about the architecture of IoT. Okay. So now, these are all different layers of IoT. One is the device layer and then network layer, service layer. Next, the final layer is that is the upper layer is the application layer. And we need to provide, we need to manage, we need to administer, we need to control, and as well as we need to provide security in all the layers that is different. Okay, so now first the device layer. So devices are there. Suppose Okay, it's 4 o'clock now. Let us assume it's 4 o'clock now. I want to go home. My home is 10 kilometers away from my what college. Okay, so 10 kilometers in the sense in another 15 to 20 minutes, I'll reach my home. Now I want to take bath. I want to have a cup of coffee when I enter into my house. Okay, so what shall I do now from here? Okay, so before starting, that is before that is by 3:55 or by 4:05, what shall I do is I'll switch on all the things which I need. Okay, I'll switch on my heater. I'll switch on my coffee machine. Okay, so the things which I need to do immediately after I enter home, all these things I could do now itself. Okay, so if I reach home, everything will be ready there. Okay, right? So my what is that? My heater will be that is I could get hot water. After refreshing, I'll get a good cup of coffee. Right, all these things I could get from here itself. See how much that is what the technology is. Right, this is what IoT. Right, so in the device layer, all the devices are available. Whatever may be the device. Okay, so suppose I'm having my smartwatch available with me, so it shows me my body pressure, my body oxygen level. Okay, no problem. Even I will make the smart watch using to check my weight, to check my body pressure, and to check my oxygen level. So all these things it is showing me. So we have seen a lot of information that is like what is that smart car, okay, smart aviation, smart agriculture. In all these things, we will see everything is automated. That is what I would do, right? So here this is device layer. In the device layer, all the devices are available, right? And in the network layer, so within the device, all the sensors, all the actuators, so everything is there. And then one thing is, so it doesn't give just the information, right? After getting the information, it is doing some process and then it is reacting accordingly. Suppose the centralized AC, right? So at 9 o'clock, what is the temperature within the room, right? Morning 9 o'clock. So we could assume what will be the temperature in the room, okay, with the centralized AC at 9 o'clock. The same temperature will be maintained at 12 noon also, and the same temperature will be maintained at 4 p.m. in the evening also. So how it is possible? So what it is? So that sensors, temperature sensor, it is checking the temperature level, the humidity within that room, okay, and accordingly it is increasing the AC level. Okay, so devices not only they are sensing, so after sensing they are doing the process, and after processing they are responding also, right? Okay, now the device layer. In the device layer, we are having all the devices, and then with the sensors available within it. Then comes the network layer. At this network layer, it forms the medium or technology. Okay, so protocols are there, and those protocols will be helpful for us. Number of protocols are there, like Zigbee, Bluetooth, and then other messaging protocols like COAP, and then MQTT. So all other protocols we will see in the next slides. Okay, so all these are doing the water transporting mechanism. Then comes the service layer. Service layer in the sense database and processing. Okay, so here we are keeping all the data. Since we have a lot of data, okay, so that sensor, if we take a single room, okay, centralized AC is there. If we take a single room, see how much data is available to us. So all these data, it is not possible in a single server to keep all the data. Even if we have a number of servers, it is not possible to keep all those data. That's why we are going for cloud computing. So we are keeping all those data in a cloud. Okay, after keeping it in cloud, that will be used to processed, okay, manipulated. Okay, whatever the data needed, it is extracted, right? So within that cloud, okay, so that information gets processed. data analysis is happening there. Okay, number of data analysis tools are there, and all those data analysis tools are doing some operation, right? So that is what the service layer. After comes the application layer, where this application is implemented, right? So that is what the application, that may be a smart health application, that may be a smart farming application, that may be a smart city of application, whatever the application is. So based on the data analysis made in the cloud, okay, using different processing and database tools, we will process for our application. Okay, so this is the architecture. In the next slide, we will see the same architecture in detail. Okay, so devices are available. That may be any device. Okay, so that is a hub or gateway or whatever it is. The device need to get managed. After that comes the data management. Okay, nothing but a database. It is stored in the database, and then we need to build applications. Okay, so application we have seen in the previous slide. No, that may be a smart farming or smart city, whatever it is. For that application, this is being used. That may be through websites, or that may be through industry specific, right? It is performed there. Okay, so this will give you a clear picture of the building blocks of IoT. We have seen in the architecture itself. Okay, things are there. Okay, that may be anything, any device. That may be a smart card, what that may be a smart room, that may be a smart home, that may be a smart car, whatever it is. Sensors are there. There are a number of sensors available with us. Okay, so all those sensors are there. So the thing, it is connected with the sensors. That sensors, they are connected with connectivity. Here connectivity is nothing but gateway. Okay, so we may say it as what, microcontroller. Okay, number of microcontroller chips are there, and we call it as simply gateways. Okay, so through gateways, okay, so the sensors are collecting the data, and the sensors are attached to the devices, right? So they are collecting the data, and then it is giving to the what, gateways, and then through the gateways it is moved to the cloud. So in the cloud it is getting processed. Okay, so within the cloud, if it is a huge volume of data, we call it as big data. Okay, so not specifically huge volume of data is big data. Okay, so that data which could not be processed by conventional technique, it is called a big data, right? So that may be audio, video. Okay, so if it is a structured data, we know there are three types of data available: structured, and then semi-structured, and then unstructured. Okay, so structured data, we will use XML, sorry, SQL, and then semi-structured example XML, and then unstructured, any audio, any video, any open text within a word or something. It is what, unstructured. For unstructured data, we will go for these big data techniques to process those, right? Okay, so within the cloud, number of data are available, that may be in any form, that will be processed through big data analytics. Okay, so and the final thing is what, all are connected for the purpose of users, right? So the things, they will have sensors will connect data and provide it to gateways, and from the gateway it is moved to the cloud, and in the cloud the data gets processed. And see, there is interconnection there. Thing is connected to user, and then sensors are connected to users, and then connectivity, gateways are connected to users, and again the cloud computing, it is also connected to users, right? So everything is interconnected there. That's why I told a thing is speaking to another thing through internet without any human intervention, right? So here, what is the need of this? So after analysis, after processing something, it is reacting accordingly, right? So that these are all the building blocks of IoT. Coming to the next slide. See here, so this is explained in detail. So the data is being collected through sensors, right? And there are gateways available. and it is connected, right? So that gateways will collect information from all those sensors. Okay, there is not a single sensor available. So there are a lot of things available. Okay, so when I enter into my home, I need to check my AC, I need to check my light, I need to check my fan. Okay, so all these things I need to check, right? Not specifically these three, a number of things are there, a number of devices are there, all are connectors. Okay, each that a sensor, each sensor is different. It is doing a different work. So this gateway will collect all these information and it is stored. Okay, stored on the cloud. Okay, so that may be exabyte and that may be, see, 1 exabyte is 1024 petabyte, right? A huge amount of data. It is being stored in the cloud. And after that, it is analyzed. Okay, for what purpose it is analyzed? So that we need to see there. After analysis, it is used, it is utilized. Whatever, maybe that smart environment that is used, right? Okay, so coming to the next slide. So this slide tells about the IoT enabling technologies. Okay, so we have seen these things. Wireless sensor network should be there. Okay, so there is no wired thing anywhere. And then cloud computing is there. And then big data analytics is there. And then cloud communication, that is, sorry, communication protocols are there. Then embedded systems are there. So I told you know gateway or microcontroller. Okay, that is what embedded system. Okay, okay. Next we will see all these things in detail. So this is about the IoT technologies. So if you see here a number of IoT technologies available like Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, MQTT, NFC, cellular. Okay, so a number of Wi-Fi technologies are there. And then we use all these technologies, right? So when you see Bluetooth, so Bluetooth, it is an important short range IoT communication protocol, right? So it has become very important in computing and consumer product markets, right? So for wearable products in particular, so this is very much needed. So again, connecting to the IoT, and then in smartphone, that is any wearable device with a smartphone, this Bluetooth is very much needed. Okay, and then about Zigbee. Okay, Zigbee is also similar to Bluetooth. It is used that is in major at industrial settings. Okay, so it provides low power operation, high security, robustness, and then it is well suitable for wireless control and sensor networks when you go for IoT operations. Okay, so that is why that Zigbee is used. And then a number of technologies are there, other than this Z wave, it is also a low power RF, that is radio frequency communication, IoT technology. This Z wave is used for home automation. And then, as you all know, Wi-Fi. Okay, most popular IoT communication protocol. Okay, maximum IoT developers choose this Wi-Fi. Okay, because it is given through LAN. Okay, and then it provides. It is having many advantages comparatively. And then cellular, right? So what is this cellular? Any IoT application, it is that require operation over longer distances, they can use advantage of GSM, 3G, 4G cellular communication capabilities. Okay, so it is send that is this cellular, it is capable of sending high quantity of data, especially for 4G. Cost and also power consumption, it will not, that is cost and power consumption will not be too high, but the quantity of data which is being transmitted, that may be high when you use cellular. Okay, and then about what we see, NFC. So near field communication. NFC is nothing but near field communication. It enables simple and safe communication between electronic devices, especially for smartphones. It allows consumers to perform transactions in which one does not have to be physically present. Okay, so it helps the user to access digital content and connect electronic devices. Okay, so that is why this NFC is used in many applications, IoT applications. And then this LoRaWAN. So LoRaWAN, LoRaWAN, it is also, it is designed to provide again low power WANs. Okay, so it supports low cost mobile secure communications, and then it is used to provide a smart, that is like smart city development, and then in some other industrial applications. Okay, so where low power consumption and supporting of large networks with millions devices are needed, this LoRaWAN is being used. Okay, so like this number of technologies are there, and this sorry, MQT, and then what that thing we will see in the next slide. Okay, so this and coming to the next slide, IoT protocols. Actual some of the protocols which are used in IoT. So one is constrained application protocol. Constrained application protocol, in short, it is called as COAP. Okay, QAP. Okay, this is an internet utility protocol for constrained devices. Okay, so it is designed to enable simple constrained devices to join IoT through constrained networks having low bandwidth availability, right? So even it is having low availability, with the help of the COAP, that could be access joined. Okay, so this protocol, it is primarily used for machine-to-machine communication, and this is specifically designed for, particularly designed for IoT systems that are based on HTTP protocols, right? That is the use of constraint application protocol, and it makes use of UDP, user datagram protocol, for lightweight implementation. This also uses RESTful architecture, right? Representational state transfer, RESTful architecture. It is also like HTTP protocol. And then okay, so this is about COAP, and then comes message queue telemetry transport protocol, MQTT, message queue telemetry transport protocol, and it is a messaging protocol which is developed by some Andy Stanwork, I think. Okay, and also it is designed for machine-to-machine communication, and it's normally used for faraway tracking in IoT. Then so it will gather statistics from many devices and delivery of its infrastructure. Then this protocol MQTT, it connects devices and networks with the packages and middleware. Okay, and then it is working on top of TCP, right? So COAP works on top of UDP, and this uses TCP. Then third protocol is advanced message queuing protocol. Okay, so this protocol, so this is for verbal exchange through message transport, right? So that is before getting into the actual sorry. So this advanced message queuing protocol, it supports reliable verbal exchange through message transport parity primitives, like at most once, at least once, and exactly as soon as shipping, like that. Okay, so all these capabilities are provided through this ADQP. And then comes data distribution services. Okay, so this data distribution service, this enables what scalable, real-time, reliable, excessive overall performance and interoperable statistics. Okay, via submit subscribe technique. Okay, so number of techniques are there. So this is based on submit subscribe. Okay, nothing but a request response. Okay, so when you request something, it will be provided as a response. Okay, so and then this use of multicasting to convey high quality of service. Okay, and then this DDS, it is deployed in platforms from low footprint devices to the cloud and supports green bandwidth usage. Okay, so that will not use that much amount of internet. Okay, so these are all the four protocols that is used mainly in case of so the what technologies we are using like Zigbee, Bluetooth, and then protocols we are using like COAP, MQTT, and then AMQT, and then DDS. Okay. Next, coming to IoT hardware, okay, we have seen like a gateway or microcontroller like that we have seen. No, that is nothing but these boards. Arduino, you know, Raspberry Pi, Beagle board. Okay, these are some of the boards which are used. Okay, so when you say IoT hardware, that includes a wide range of devices. All these devices are used for routing, bridging, sensing, etc. Right? So these IoT devices manage key tasks and functions such as like activation, security, action specifications, communication, and detection of support specific goals and actions. Okay, so this hardware component, they vary from low power board, single board processors like Arduino Uno. So this Arduino Uno, which are basically smaller boards that are plugged into main boards to improve and increase its functionality by bringing out specific functions or features like that is GPS, light, heat sensor, interactive display, like that. Okay, so a programmer specifies a board's input and output and then creates a circuit design to illustrate the interaction. Okay, okay. Next is Arduino, that is Raspberry Pi. This is a well-known IoT platform. So the recent version of Raspberry Pi is 4, right? And this is very much affordable, and it is, we can say it as a tiny computer. Okay, it is a mini computer. So then this cost around, that is from 3,000 to 7,000, it will be there. And for mini operations, many are using this Raspberry Pi because since it is acting as a very little computer. Okay, just we could plug in it and then we could use whatever input we are giving. Okay, so it is very affordable, and it can be incorporated like an entire web server itself. So it is called Raspi. Okay, so it is having enough processing power, it is having enough memory even to run Windows 10. Okay, so they are calling that is this Raspberry exhibits great processing capabilities when using with Python language. Okay, and then this Beagle board, it is a single board computer with a Linux based operating system. Okay, then it uses it is used with ARM processor, and it is also capable of more powerful processing than Raspberry Pi. And then um, some other hardware and then some other embedding things are also available. Then coming to the sensors, a number of sensors are available, right? So what? Machine vision, and then optical ambient light. So then about it checks the position, it checks the presence. Sensors, some sensors will check the proximity, and some other sensors are available which check the motion, and which will check the velocity, which will check any displacement was made, and the sensors which check what temperature, which will check humidity, moisture. Okay, and then sensors which are sound dependent, like acoustic, sound, vibration, and some other sensors it will check gas level or smell of that gas. Okay, smell of that chemical. All these are available, and some other sensors are there which will check the flow, right? Flow of water, or some maybe in the kitchen or maybe in the bathroom, likewise flow, and then some force, load, torque, strain, pressure. Okay, so if there is any suppose someone with the false intention open the door, means So already it was locked. So some heavy strain was made there, no, some high pressure was given there, no, to move that door or to open that door. So at that times that sensor will sense it and inform us. And then whether there is any leakage, whether the threshold level was violated, or if it comes below the level, or if it goes above the level also, it will inform us. Okay. And then comes electricity, magnetic, okay, any vibration like that. Okay, so if it is there also, that sensor will give that information. Then acceleration, tilting. Okay, so if something was moved, okay, so something was not in its position, okay, it will also be sensed and informed. So whatever it is, any that is sensor is there, it is sensing and providing the information, and that information is not kept idle, right? So that information is processed. So we have seen previously, no, suppose if the temperature comes down, the AC will automatically increase its level. Okay, that's why the same what AC level, that is the same cooling, it is maintained all throughout the day, that we know, right? So it is getting processed. Yeah. Some reaction is there. That is why a thing it is communicating with, it is speaking with some other thing, right? And then coming to the IoT software, we can have any language for that. Okay. So software programming language on which this IoT works uses a very common programming languages that programmers use, and already we know all these things. So which language should we choose for IoT? It is, that is because it depends on, firstly, embedded system have less storage and processing power, and then their language needs are different. So the most commonly used operating system for such embedded systems are Linux, or Unix like OS like Ubuntu Core or Android, right? And then this IoT software, we can say it encompasses a wide range of what all software and programming languages like C, starting from C, C++, Java, to embedded specific choices like Google's Go language or Parasail. Okay, so coming to C and C++, it has its roots in embedded system. It even got its start for programming telephone switches, right? So it is pretty ubiquitous. That is, it can be used almost everywhere, and many programmers already they are using C and C++ for that. And coming to C++ specifically, it is object-oriented version of C, and then it is also a language which is popular for both the Linux operating system and Arduino embedded IoT software systems. Okay, so these languages, they were basically written for hardware systems, which make them easy to use, right? Then comes Java. So C and C++ are hardware specific. Coding in Java, it is more portable. Okay, so it is more like write once and read anywhere language. This we know Java, where you install libraries, invest time in writing code once, and we could reuse it again. Okay, so then comes Python. So recent surge in the number of Python users and has now become one of the go-to language in web development, right? It is now used at a maximum level in IoT. So its use in slowly spreading to the that is embedded control and IoT world, especially the Raspberry Pi processor, right? In all maximum of the IoT applications are now using Python. Okay, so it is an interpreted language which is easy to read, quick, even it is quick to learn and quick to write program also. Okay, so those who know Python, they will know how it is easy to. So it is maximum like that is English like words are many in there. And then we can say it's a powerhouse for serving data heavy applications. Okay, so next is B hash. So this B hash, or we say B sharp, was specifically designed for embedded systems. Okay, so it's small and compact and has less memory size. Okay, so So these are many what some of the languages which is used in IoT. That is for coming. That is when we go for databases, you can use any database. That may be SQL or MySQL or now in big data we are having MongoDB, and then a number of databases are available. You can use anything based on the application you need. Okay. And other than this, data collection, data integration, data analytics, right? So we are having a number of data collection tools. Okay, so sensors that track motion, temperature, heart rate, and other parameters. And then we are having Zigbee devices, Bluetooth devices, low power radio based devices. All these are used for data collection. And then coming to the data integration, a number of data integration tools are there. Okay, Microsoft SQL, IBM InfoSphere, Centerprise data integrator, Oracle data service integrator, Talent data integration, okay, Informatica power center, like that, that is used for the integration purpose. Okay, and then data analytics, it is performed through Python, it is performed through R, it is performed through SAS, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Apache Spark. So all these are doing analytic work. Okay. So a number of data collection, integration, and analytic tools are there. Okay. So this is about the building blocks, and then about what technologies available, and then the various communication protocols. Okay. And then how that gateway or many that is microcontroller, or we can say that Raspberry Pi, Arduino, or BeagleBoard. Okay, that gateway. And then about IoT hardware and the software. Any doubt till this? Any doubt till this? Shall I proceed?
Dear participants, if you have any queries until the 24th slide, so please, we are requesting you to raise queries if you have any. Ma'am, we shall move on, ma'am.
Okay, okay, I'll move. Okay, so these are the what basics of IoT, or we can say these are the architecture and then building blocks technologies used in IoT. Next, we will see in the next slide, we will see about the domain specific IoTs. Nothing domain specific IoTs are nothing but they how on what basis it is used, right? Whether it is used for agriculture, whether it is used for everyday activities, or whether it is used for smart home or city, whether it is used for telemedicine, healthcare, right? So these are all domain specific IoTs. And next slide, we will see about in what areas these IoT is used, or we can say it as IoT applications or use cases of IoT, right? So it is used in home, smart city, smart environment, smart energy system, smart retailing, smart logistics, smart industry, smart agriculture, and then smart health and lifestyle. Okay, so in the coming slides, we will see about the different suppose if that a smart home means what can we get. Okay, smart lighting, whether the light is dim or whether I'm getting a good light, or it is dim or it is switched off, like that. And then smart appliances, okay, maybe I don't know fridge, and then what machine, my coffee making machine, okay, or my water heater. So those are appliances. And then comes intrusion detection. If any other person with false intention, if they are entering into my house, okay, so that is checked through sensors which are kept on my water doors. Okay, and then smoke gas detectors. This is also needed, right? And then in the next slide we will see about smart cities. So if the city is smart means we need to go for smart parking, we need to go for smart lighting for roads, even we will go for smart roads. Okay, so smart bridges are there, no smart bridges. So what that bridge will communicate to us, if it is a smart bridge, so it will say the load on the bridge. it will say the number of vehicles on the bridge, right? It will say the number of, so it is all these are giving input to us, right? It will check the weight on the movement, whether a very fast movement by the vehicles, or the vehicles are moving at a slow rate. Likewise, that road is providing information to us. Okay. And then structural health and monitoring, and then surveillance, emergency response, all these are to be there for a smart city, right? And then coming to the smart environment, weather monitoring or whatever may be that environment, right? Weather monitoring environment, air pollution monitoring, noise pollution monitoring, forest fire detection, river flood detection, etc., etc. If it is there means, if all these things are there means, then all are providing input to us. Okay, so with the help of these, we could make the environment safe, right? And then in the next slide, we will see smart energy system, smart grids, maybe renewable energy system, prognostics, all these are through smart energy systems. And then next is about smart retailing, inventory management, smart payments. Okay, Google Pay, online pay, that pay, this pay. Okay, and then number of paying systems are there. Okay, so and then smart vending machines, all these are available with us in case of smart retail systems. And then comes smart industry, machine diagnosis, machine prognosis, indoor air quality monitoring. All these are through IoT. Okay, and then coming to the what, health and lifestyle, smart health, smart lifestyle, health and fitness monitoring, wearable electronics, right? So we are having a number of wearable devices with us, and all those devices help us to know different things for us, right? So even we will have that is, we are having smart watches, right? Helmets, smart glasses, smart jewelry, smart collars, smart wristwatches, smart wristbands, smart ring.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
There is, sir.
Ma'am, there is a query from Professor MB Thorat.
Yes, sir.
How we will try to become smart villages?
Villages,
How we will try to become smart villages?
smart village, sir. Village, their agriculture is the main thing there. So if we make the agriculture smart, then that village will automatically be smart. No. So in the smart agriculture, what we will have is what, even in the hut, little huts also, that is also a device. That hut, what it is made up of, that is also a device. So if we connect a sensor in the device means, in that roof means, or in that a little door means, that will become smart. So with the help of all these devices only, we are making everything smart. So and then if we connect those, and then if we have a smart agriculture there, if we have a smart we can have the sensors which will detect the water level in the well, right? So from the it will tell the the water level within the well is like that. So you cannot get water from that. Likewise, whatever that available in the village, if we have that, it will be, we can make it smart. Okay, and then coming to the wearable devices, we have even what can we say, clothing pieces, and then shoes, socks. Okay, we can make everything, these all smart wearable devices smart, right? And then next is real time, real life example. So these are all the things which are available. Okay. So these are the things which are available. Okay, Happy Fork. So it is an electronic fork that helps us to monitor and track our eating habits. So it alerts you with the help of indicator like and genetic vibrations when you are eating too fast. Okay, don't eat too fast. Eat that is slow, or you have that is you ate more amount of food, so eat less. Likewise, it will indicate us, right? And then about smart toothbrush. So it is beam brush. Okay, so it engages users with their daily hygienic routine. And then egg minder syncs. So it syncs with your smartphone to tell you how many eggs you have got at home. So it will tell you can have up to 14 eggs. So it will sync up to 14 eggs. And even if they go bad, means that will also be indicated, right? And then comes glucose monitoring. So what is this? So it is a cellular powered glucose meter. It transmits each test result to a secure server and provides instant feedback and coaching to patients. So this will be helpful for doctors, okay, to check our sugar levels, okay. So this helps doctors, nurses, diabetic educators with real-time clinical data, okay. And then smart washing machines. So this is also, it is have all the available. So whenever you need to switch it on, it is possible. And if you want to switch it off, it is possible. Whatever operation you want to do with that, it is possible. And then smart piggy bag. So connects to an app in your device, and so you can track your balance and set financial goals, right? So and then about a lot of real-time examples are there, like a hydroponic system. Okay, so automated hydroponic system that attends to all your plant needs and water them. Okay, if the water level of the plant goes down, means it will intimate you. You have to water your plant like that and make sure they are growing under optimal conditions, right? Whether water level comes down or whether the temperature is not at the specific level, it will inform us. Okay, inform you to make what requirement you need to do for that. Okay, and then smart home security. So it is a canary. It is a complete security system. It is packed into a single device. It adapts your home over time and sends intelligent notification with HD video directly to your smartphone. Okay, so by seeing that, you can understand everything what has happened, right? So accordingly, we could react. Okay, and then okay, hydrophonic system, smart home security, smart pet game, Clever Pet. It is a smart Wi-Fi connected game console for your dog. Okay, automatically entertain and educate your dog even when she is at home alone. Okay, so even for pet animals also, there are IoT applications available. We can make our pet animals also entertained and educated, right? And then smart lighting. So smart lighting control your bulbs one at a time or all together. If you want to switch on or switch off a single bulb, or if you want to switch off all the lights available within your home, it is possible. Okay, and then smart AZ. Okay, so smart AZ learns from your budget, location, schedule, and usage to automatically maintain the perfect temperature and maximize savings at your home. Okay, and then smart sleep system. It will visualize your sleep cycles. It understand what makes you up and compare nights from the palm of your hand. You can control your personalized wake up and fall asleep programs. Okay, so even for you, that is when to sleep, when to get up, how many hours you have slept, or how many hours you need to sleep, everything is in our hands. Okay, blood pressure monitor. Okay, it will monitor the blood pressure level. And then smart weather station. It is identifying the temperature, humidity, and carbon dioxide readings. Okay, so all these things we could get from smart weather system. And then smart slow cooker. So we can cook our food. Okay, suppose I want to eat for the rice, so that rice to be cooked when I go home means, so before 5 minutes, if I switch on it, uh, that is after I go home, I could eat. Okay, so it is possible. Smart slow cooker, and then smart tennis racket. Okay, where you are standing in the ranking, and then where you need to move all these things, it will give, right? And then smart bike. Okay, so where you need to go to avoid traffic, and then it will check your speed rate also. And then smart garbage cans. Okay, when it needs to be emptied, if it is full, it will show you I'm full, kindly empty me. Okay, so all these decisions, so after that is we need to take action then, right? And then PetNet, it will control our pets feeding from anywhere and tracks their nutrition level for pets. Okay, and then smart mirror. So it is a programmable application, and it digitally display your home to you. So wherever you are, so if you use that smart mirror, it will show you what is available in your home, any person entered into or any person get away. Likewise, all these things it will show. Okay, and then about smart gardening. Okay, so data, it gives data on plants, conditions surrounding it, and then for better gardening, it is useful. And then smart cardio. So remote cardiac monitor, health monitor, that is heart monitoring. And then smart door lock. Okay, so then so it is using Bluetooth. And then smart socks. Okay, so textile sensor, it is infused with sensor, and they are paired with a Bluetooth smart cool and detachable anklet that delivers accuracy in step count, step speed, how many calories used, and then altitude, distance tracking, everything is performed through this smart socks. Okay, so these are all the real-time examples of IoT. So in this current world, okay, we are getting a lots and lots of information. All these, shall we know that is, do you know the data that is given by radar available in an aeroplane, how much TB it is, or weather forecasting we are performing? See, India is performing weather, likewise, all around the world, this weather casting is being performed. So what is the amount of data that weather casting applications are giving to us, right? So what is the amount of data? So a number of applications are there which are giving a huge and huge volume of data. Okay, so if it is so, it is not possible for us to keep it in a server or a number of servers. That's why we are going for cloud computing, right? And this data, it will not be a structured one. That may be semi-structured, or that may be an unstructured data. That may be anything. Okay, so for that we go for big data analysis. Likewise, so everything is interconnected only. Okay, so I'll so another 9 minutes more for me. I'll tell you a short story. Okay, just I just tell you. So hotel, right, where I have a reservation, it knows I'm coming on the appropriate time of my arrival. Okay, so the hotel where I have a reservation knows I'm coming on the appropriate time of my arrival, because I have allowed Apple and Google to track my location. Okay, so it allows Apple in the sense my phone and then Google Map to track my location. It knows, it also knows that I'm hot and sweaty from my trip because of the temperature and the moisturizer sensors that are part of my smartwatch. Okay, the hotel room I will stay in is currently dormant. That means no light, and then all the windows are closed. Temperature is at optimized. That is, it is not. That is the air is in that room is not good. Okay, so upon my arrival, the valet, that is the person who is in charge of me, he knows it is me, right? So he opens my door and the car adjusts the seat because it detects the valet. Okay, car is adjusting, right? So my preference is to carry my own bag. I want to take my bag with me. So I'm not accosted by the bell captain. So no need for me, for anyone to take my what bag. So once in proximity of that, that is in position of the hotel lobby, a secure key app is available on my smartphone. By the time I reach the elevator, the room temperature has adjusted to coincide with my smartwatch sensors, right? So the light level, the music and privacy settings are to my requirements. Because I'm hot and sweaty, the room also prepares hot water for a shower. And then I'll probably take that is after entering into the room. Okay, so hot water for a shower. As I approach, the security key app unlocks the room door. Once settled for the night, the room detects the lights are turned out. It changes the temperature setting to my sleep preferences. Okay, that is when you see the scenario. So what will come in our mind? Every room in this particular hotel chain has multiple sensors and actuators, right? Every rental car has multiple sensors and actuators. Okay, I am wearing multiple sensors and actuators like a watch vibration for alerts. And then I'm not interacting with my smartphone touchscreen constantly to direct these connected things to take action, even though it is one gateway for my activity. So there will be millions of people doing this every day, right? So we are living in this internet world of data, right? So for all these for all see how sophisticated it is, right? Okay, so this IoT is used in a number of applications, and then it is also easy to go for IoT programming, and then it is also cheap, and because on the Arduino board or Raspberry Pi, it will not consume that much of power, and it is not that much that's cost wise also it is cheap, right? So many things are there. So you have got a lot of information from the previous speakers, as well as you will be getting a lot of information about IoT. And then I have seen the schedule in that blockchain IoT is there. That is also very important now, because blockchain is the emerging, not emerging. So that Bitcoin, that Ethereum, all these play a role, and they are saying, many are saying like blockchain is going to rule the world. Okay, so it will be very useful for us. And this IoT make our life sophisticated, as well as it will make everything like what we could know everything. We have seen, no, anytime, any place, anything, so it is possible. Okay, so any doubts?
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful session. I request the participants to raise queries if you have any. You may also use the chat box to post your queries now.
Okay, any queries, participants? I think there are no query. Only thing is someone wants to send the feedback again.
So participants may raise queries. Please unmute yourself and then you can ask queries if you have. So session is very informative, and thank you said by Professor M.B. Thorat, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful session by Maniarasan sir. Dr. Piyush sir has posted excellent session. Marisan sir has posted as nice session, madam.
Yes, sir.
Love
Okay,
Raj sir commented as nice session, ma'am.
okay, participants, thank you for your patient listening. And I also thank the management of GRG Polytechnic College and HOD Indra Devi ma'am, and then this hoster, I don't know his name, sir. Okay, thank you, Department of ICE, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, participants.
Thank you, ma'am, for your informative session.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, a small query from Thorat, sir. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Oh.
that smart ornaments for ladies for the safety of the ornaments as well as for the safety of that lady who is wearing. So maybe that someone stole that ornaments also, we will track where it is available now. Okay, that is also possible. Same way, suppose if I wore that ornament means if my mobile or something got switched off means my husband or some other person in my family also know where I am available. So both the possibilities are there.
So thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your informative session, ma'am. Thank you for accepting our invitation too. And it was quite informative, ma'am. And from our GRG Polytechnic College and the student and faculty members, we extend our warm thanks to you, ma'am, for the session and throughout the session, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Thank you all. Thank you. Shall I leave, sir?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So, dear participants, feedback link has been posted in the chat box. I request you to kindly fill the valuable feedback. Feedback link has been posted. Kindly look into it and post your valuable feedback. Thank you for being attentive through the session and through the day 2. So we are at the end of day 2. I request the participant to join for tomorrow's day 3 program by 9:15 a.m. So the meeting ID and password is same for all the 6 days. Will be shared tonight, and the flyers for the respective day will be shared tonight. So I request the participants to attend the program tomorrow by morning 9:15 a.m. sharp. Thank you.